Right, good morning, and thank you for tuning back into another episode of the Small Business Showcase. We have guest number 2 here. We have Angela with the Zen Spot. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So, the Zen Spot is that, to me, when I hear Zen, I'm thinking of like meditation and things like that. So, is it a meditation retreat? What exactly is the Zen Spot for our listeners?
So the Zen Spot is a massage therapy business, but you are correct with the Zen. It's very focused around like a Zen atmosphere. So when you walk in, everything's very calming. The basis of massage therapy is pretty much body work, right? But I like to focus a little more on the mental health side of stuff, having you very relaxed and zened out and so everything just to like calm, right? Everybody's going through something, you come in and it's just like your little escape for a while.
That's awesome. Now, do you do all clients of like all ages? Is there a limit? Anything like that?
So I do, it's usually 16 and up. I have done minors about 14, 15 years old with parental consent. But yeah, really all ages. I see people of all walks of life, all different, yeah.
What made you decide that, hey, I want to make a living by rubbing people's backs?
So really, I leaned into massage therapy as a client and getting massages regularly. And I had 2 young boys. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, I need to find something for my mental health. I was going crazy. And so I just kind of toyed with like what would be good, flexible. I can still, put my kids first. And I was like, I love massage therapy. I'm just going to kind of check it out. So I went into it more of just like kind of something to do, and then it evolved. I fell in love with everything about it. It gave me like a purpose that I don't even know how to explain. Like when you guys are on my table, it's healing for you, but it's also healing for me, right?
So that's where the Zen comes in, the transition of that energy.
Yes. It's very, my life outside of work is very chaotic. I'm always on the go, right? My boys are about to be 10 and 8. They're constantly on the go. They're in sports. We're doing stuff. And then when I go to work, that's like my escape. And so I get people who come in and they're kind of everybody's going through something, right? Everybody needs that time to just decompress. And I'll get people who come in and it can be something from, they're struggling with fertility issues, or they're going through a divorce, or they're financially stressed, or, heartbreak, or whatever it is. And they leave and they're like, I needed that like 60 minutes, that 90 minutes to just really escape. And then they get the clarity and you walk out and have you ever had a massage?
Yeah, in fact, back in January, because I used to do wrestling as a kid, so I injured my back. So I've done physical therapy, chiropractor, and this one day I had an event and I'm like, it's hurting to walk, it's hurting to sit. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this event. So I went to my first massage parlor in January and I'm like, I'm just going to try it out and see. And we did a 45-minute deep dive right into my back, where he just focused right on the lower part of my back, and I just felt this pop, 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 and just this amazing sensation go through my legs. And I got up and I'm like, wow. I was still in pain, but I could walk. And then an hour later, it resided. Like, it was amazing how much a massage can do.
Yes, the benefits of the body it's crazy. So I feel like it's just so intertwined. Like, you come in. A lot of people are like, oh, I have stress in my neck and my shoulders, and like, so you can work that out while also, just creating like the calmness in their headspace. It's amazing. I love everything about it.
So what's your success story of, because I'm sure you've had a success story like how mine was with the back with the other massage guy that I used.
My success story, like
someone coming in with pain that was just like relief, or just something where you're like, I can't believe I was able to help this particular client.
I've had a bunch of them, but one that really stands out is I had a woman who came in. It was her first massage ever. She was leaving a very toxic, abusive relationship, and she associated touch with pain. So this was something that she was doing to kind of overcome that, right? And she didn't tell me this before she got on the table. So she gets on the table, she's fine, she's calm. She comes out and she starts crying and she tells me this story, and she's like, I could never let anybody touch me without it like making me flinch, and it scared me. And she's like, this was the like most calm she's ever felt. To me, that was like I don't even know how to explain it. It was a beautiful thing. It like teared me up because I'm like, that's amazing that you were able to experience that, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do different types of massages, or you focus on one style just because there's so many styles out there?
I do cupping, I do hot stone, I do CBD, we can do deep tissue, we can do Swedish. I'm learning gua sha, which is like a muscle scraping, but so I do cupping for a lot of athletes. So I have a lot of athlete clients. I have a lot of clients who do CrossFit, who, the deep tissue works, but the cupping is it's great for them. And then on the flip side of it, if people are like, I really just want to kind of, zen out, hot stone is great. It's great for inflammation. It's great for relaxing. It's all different. Everybody's different.
At least for me, I know cupping because I've seen how it's that weird little device on people, but I've never done it.
Yeah.
I've seen the hot stone, which is something I'm interested in, but all the other ones were just like foreign language to me on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're all great. I love depending on what it is that you're wanting. If you really just want to kind of decompress, I would always say hot stone. If you're really wanting like more specific work, a lot of times if you have like let's say your left shoulder is really hurting, you just throw a cup on there and kind of let it loosen up. But yeah.
You have something coming up with July and stuff with your business too that you were telling me.
I am currently looking for space to expand. We found a couple spaces, so yeah, I'm wanting to bring in more therapists. I'm wanting to create, bring in probably 3 or 4, and my idea is I want it to be different than just the standard chain, right? I try and keep my prices reasonable. I want to create something where even the therapist, they can make enough without us having to overcharge the client and everybody wins, right? I feel like there's a happy medium. And so I want to bring in, I have a few therapists in mind that are great. So yeah, we're currently looking to expand, get more people in there.
You got this.
Excited, yeah.
Do you do any traveling massage, or do you have them all come to you?
I have them come to me. I have had a couple of clients. Ideally, I would like to, at some point, bring that in where we could do a mobile massage. I'm not quite there yet. I personally can't. I don't have the time to do it. But yeah, to bring in like a mobile massage would be, eventually I'll get there.
And so, what did you do prior to the massage?
Before I became a therapist?
Yep.
So I stayed at home for a few years, and then prior to that, I worked for a financial advisor.
Interesting. Financial advising to massages.
It's very, very different. And it was, I'm not built for like a 9 to 5. I'm really not. And
I don't think most of us are anymore.
No. And once you get a taste of not doing it, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine like sitting in the same spot for 40 hours a week. And like, I just can't.
I honestly, it's like, we got our freedom, we're stressed, but we're not as stressed as we were with a W-2 job.
Yes, exactly. It's a totally different, and you get that ambition though, right? Like you get to go out there and kind of create your own days, create your own opportunity, and I love everything about it. And my biggest thing too was, there's no ceiling, right? When you're doing your own thing.
So you don't got a ceiling in the massage? Like, that's gonna suck in hell.
But you know what I mean? Like you can take it where your job, you can take it wherever you want. You create however you want your business to go. And
are you a native here in Colorado, or?
I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from St. Louis.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
I've been to St. Louis once. You ever been to the Great Arc?
Of course.
I love the little elevator, little egg thing they have zoom in there.
Yes. And it sways when you get up to the top. And,
yep.
Yeah.
And then those tiny windows that you don't think they're there.
Yes. It's a whole experience.
So how long have you been in Colorado now?
I moved out here in 2005. So it's been a while. Was that 21 years?
Yeah, 21
right?
years.
Yeah. So it's been I've been here longer than I was there. So.
I got here in 16, so going on 10 years now.
Where did you come from?
Indiana. I'm a farm boy.
Oh, what brought you out here?
I came out on vacation, and the mountains I fell in love.
Yes.
And the vacation never ended.
Yeah, that'll do it, right?
So I made the leap of faith.
So is it hot?
It's got heat waves, so it'd be like 90 degrees, but it'd feel like 110.
Okay.
But we also have the wind chill, so like I remember one time it was negative 30, but with the wind chill it was negative 60. So you go outside and your bones hurt if you're not covered up.
Oh, I didn't know it got that cold.
Oh,
that's a
cold.
real number that you're using? Negative?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's not often, but it can get that cold. Like you can put your hand in the snow and the snow is ice, not powdery like it is out here.
Yeah. So then Colorado is very mild to you.
Yep.
For winters.
I
Even
barely wear a coat, but when on those few cold days, I have a wind and waterproof coat.
Oh, so you're one of those who can wear like shorts or like be
not shorts. I'm not that crazy.
Okay.
I'm crazy, but not that crazy.
So like, where did they come from? Because it's cold and you guys are in shorts.
Probably from Texas, California.
Yeah, but when it's cold.
Oh, the cold? Okay, Alaska, Montana.
Like they came from somewhere where they're like, this is like summer weather.
Yeah, because this is just like fall weather to me.
That's so, yeah, if there's like a light chill, I'm like freezing. And I'm like, I need a jacket.
So what else would you like people to know about you personally? Because that's one of the things we like to do is connect the audience to the business owners on that personal feel.
I think really a big thing about me is that I want to create a space that is just beneficial for everybody. I feel like we're all better together, right? You have a lot of companies that it's very top heavy. It's very, and I want to be able to bring people in and have them get the care and the get into a routine of self-care and do stuff where they can afford it. I've had people, come to me and be like, oh, I tried to, I wanted to go here, but they charge so much and I'd have to save money to go. And I'm like, that's just crazy, right? I want to create a place where we're all just, it's a one-on-one, just healing, relaxing, completely like Zen experience for everybody.
That's awesome. And how can someone get a hold of you to schedule a consultation?
So you can Google my website, which is the ZenSpot or zenspotco.com. And then I'm all over social media. It's the ZenSpot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you for being on and look forward to hearing more about your story in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
So, this was, again, Angela with the ZenSpot. Check her out and go get you some hot stones and CBD massages. Have a great rest of your day. And we are back with the next guest here with the Small Business Showcase. I am with Jason Landry. Landress. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I get Flanders, Landers, everything. It's not your fault.
Well, at least it's not like my last name, Vogelman. People are like, what? So, how was the attorney life going for you?
It's actually kind of exploded in a way that is unexpected. I assumed there would be kind of a ramp-up period when you start your own firm, but I mean, I've been blessed in the way that it's kind of taken off, and a lot of people that I've had, either previous clients or coming out of the woodwork, or even the new clients that I have are so happy, I guess, to say, that the word is just out. So I had to hire a paralegal, yes. So it's kind of exploded
Taken
a little
off?
bit. Yeah, because I mean, I'm kind of the alternative to your big box store is what I try to be, right?
Okay.
I try to be there for people at more of a personal level, like we talked about last time, and that's why I started my firm. Like, Landers Law is about being more about you and me, if you're my client, and about getting you through a crisis, than it would be about chain. So people are responding well.
That's awesome. What do you say is the most requested that you're getting when it comes to your attorney firm?
So right now it would be domestic, like family law, and the constellation surrounding that. So that could mean post-decree modification, meaning like you have orders, but they need to change because kids have gotten older, or they don't want to see mom, or they don't want to see dad. Or it could be constellation like permanent protection orders, temporary restraining orders, where someone who's been married to a person for a long time, that violence escalates and they need immediate emergent protection, okay? Or a child needs that through what's called a 129.4 emergency motion to restrict. So most of my business right now is domestic and the kind of constellation around it that comes with it.
How do you keep that from just absorbing into you with the energy? Because that's got to be difficult at times, hearing these people's stories, especially situations like that. How do you not take it home and just reflect and keep yourself somewhat normal?
It's actually tough, and that's probably, like, if we were in a job interview and you said, well, what's your weakness? That's it. I don't do well all the time at that compartmentalization, but I also think it's what makes me different, and it makes me motivated. Like, if you were my client you would be like a brother or a cousin or whatever. If I had a female client who was older than me, I would think of my aunt or my mom. Like, part of it is a dual-edged sword, and if you look at my logo, it is a sword and a shield, right? But it has both edges, and so part of what makes me so good is because I truly care. But part of what sometimes drags me down is because it is laborious. There's a lot of gravity to what I do. And people are like, how do you do it? And I'm like, God gave me a big mouth and broad shoulders. But that's a fun way of saying, I got to run my mouth, I got to take that gravity, but it is hard. And my wife has seen me elated by good outcomes, and she's seen me deflated at times. And that's the roller coaster we ran.
That's probably the perfect way to put it, and I couldn't imagine doing a situation like that. So I give you props to be able to still, not even up to, I'm trying to think of the word, like departmentalize it, and still be able to maintain it and go forward, especially, going into the courtroom and seeing the person that caused it and have to, go through with everything.
Well, it's definitely, there is an aspect of competition to it, right? I used to be a hockey player, hurt myself, had to have shoulder surgery, that ended that. So this is my new arena, so to speak. I like trial, I like being in the arena, right? It's kind of like Gladiator.
Like a war zone.
Are you not entertained? You know what I mean? But there is a deleterious effect. Like, there just is. And you're always running in, you're not a fireman or a first responder, but for your client, you kind of are. And so you're constantly running into conflict, right? So a good lawyer doesn't have the ability to fight or flight. They fight. So you don't really have the second option. If you're flighting more than you're fighting, you're not a good lawyer. Like, you're just not. Because you're too scared or concerned or nervous, or you don't like public speaking. But we don't get the option to zealously advocate and have the flight mechanism. We don't.
Now, when it comes to, getting away from it all, how do you reflect, like, what's your getaway, like, for, say, music, traveling? How do you just disconnect from that life?
Well, I've been blessed also with, like, a wonderful, amazing wife, beautiful children. I coach my son's hockey. I'm going to be hopefully coaching my daughter's field hockey. So sports is a big outlet in our family. Fishing, hiking, getting to the camper, that kind of stuff. But in a weird way, and this is going to be embarrassing to admit, I like gardening. I never thought I would like gardening, but I like gardening. And I think it's because in my business, everything is so protracted. Everything takes so long, right? Nothing happens fast in the law, necessarily. But when I dig a hole, and I put a plan in it, and I get to sit back at the end of the day and look at my garden or the lawn or whatever, that gives me that outlet that I don't normally get.
Because you're creating something new in a way.
Not only that, not only the creativity, and that's why I love cooking is my other one, for sure. I love to cook. But they're immediate. Like, I set out to cook a meal, short of it being me smoking a brisket or whatever, which can take a lot of hours, but the immediate result is you're eating dinner. In the law, if I start a meal, I'm not eating for 6 months, right? So I find myself gravitating to those kind of more, I don't want to say immediate impulse, but like, I can sit there with my wife as the sun sets, and all the work that I put in that garden or how the flowers look, I can immediately appreciate the fruits of my labor.
Now, if you were going to cook something for someone, what is your go-to meal that you're going to cook?
Oh, gosh. I've been told I'm very good at not grilling, barbecue, like smoking, right? Brisket, pulled pork, ribs.
And you tell brisket, he's mentioned brisket multiple times now.
Yeah, you gotta get that brisket is the hardest one. That is the one that you don't have much margin for error, and it requires more precision.
Because it's got to fall apart and everything perfectly.
And you get to the stall and you're like, it goes from 0 to like 170. And then for the next 10 hours, it's 171.
Do you make your own barbecue sauce too from scratch?
So I use a combination, but I do make my own rub. And it's got weird stuff in it, like coffee, which you wouldn't think, cinnamon, which you wouldn't think. And my wife has sat there as we've tinkered and written everything down because she's the organized German one in the family. So, no, that's probably my go-to, or Italian. I cook Italian food well because my mother cooks Italian food well. So there's been a lineage of that.
My meal for me is lasagna. Since you mentioned that Italian.
There you go. I'll bring you some sauce next time because what we do is we do the old-fashioned way. Like, my kids have literally had blue gloves on, squeezing the tomatoes. We do it the old-fashioned way with the garlic that we press. Like, my kids are into cooking too, and that's awesome.
That's amazing. And they're in hockey like you were. So you get to see them, continue on.
Well, yeah, and there was a legacy to that too. I mean, my wife was very concerned that it would be, well, you're going to force him into it. So we let my son, whose name is Grayson, he tried lacrosse, he tried baseball, he's tried a bunch of other things. And he, at one point, just came to my wife and said, "Can I just play hockey, please?"
That's awesome.
Because it almost, and she was like, "Well, why?" And he's like, "I don't like being hot and I don't like to run." And I'm like, "Sounds like Dad." Sounds like me. Right? This body wasn't built by running, that's for sure.
But, I mean, with hockey, you're skating on ice and you're going back. Like, you're still doing cardio, right?
Oh, yeah, but if you have it, like, there's something about, and my son and I joke about this, there's something about being that graceful when you're good at skating, and he's a natural skater, he's very good. But even just those first several sounds of that carve into the ice and like the fluidity that
the
you
little
feel,
sound,
that right? But that fluidity and feeling that light, right? It's similar to what you would imagine kind of flight would be like, right? Because you're used to everything being hard when you move on ground, right? On ice, there's a momentum and a fluidity that you can create, and it's kind of like surfing or some of these other things, like, or if you've ever rollerbladed, there's a freedom and a flexibility, or like longboarded, same kind of thing when you longboard or skateboard. You have that kind of fluidity and momentum. So some people are addicted to it, and it's a good one to have. Trust me, I'd rather him have that than any other.
Oh, especially that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your business as a lawyer, because you mentioned that you treat everyone like family, but at the same time, what do you feel makes you different than any other attorney that is out there that you can bring to the table? I know, I put you on the hot seat.
Definitely this.
Your chest?
My heart.
Oh, your heart.
Yes, my upper left pectoral.
He said there hit his chest for the people who are listening.
My heart is genuinely in this, okay? Secondarily, though, there is, I kind of hate but love the challenge, right? So somebody told me recently, oh, I've heard this person's a shark. And I'm like, well, I'm an orca. Because orcas eat sharks. They've learned how to flip them over, that tonic immobility that sharks have when they're upside down, and orca whales will work creatively and strategically to, then they could just eat the shark, right? What I said last time we were talking, I say all the time too, is chess not checkers, devil's in the details, okay? Sometimes people want to play the short game when they need to play the long game. Sometimes they want to immediately strike when they should wait, right? Sometimes it's like Sun Tzu's Art of War. If your enemy is quick to anger him, for he will make mistakes. So if you have a hot other side counsel and they come hot, and they come hot because that's their reputation, maybe you make them a little bit angry. Maybe then they make mistakes. Like, it's thinking outside of the box. So I would say here and here. That's heart, mind, by the way.
I was getting ready to mention that for the listeners, but that's perfect. Now, how can someone get a hold of you for a consultation?
Super easy. So there's, two ways. You can call 719-212-4448, or that's triple for you. Triple for you. Or you go to my website, landresslaw.com. That's LANDRESS law.com. And go to the bottom, request a free consultation. either I will respond or my paralegal Abby will respond as soon as possible. I just responded to a person at like 9:30 the other night and they couldn't believe it.
So anytime they can reach out to you, but try not to do 3 a.m. unless it's emergency.
Actually, do 3 a.m. That's fine. I'll get to you when I can. No, but
when he can. I may be asleep.
No,
but I'll get to you when I wake up.
Yes, but or I may be in court, or I may be
at
tied
3
up in
a.m.
No, not at 3 a.m. But when you request a consultation, maybe I'm in court, or maybe my paralegal's tied up with something else. Just one thing I would encourage people to understand is like part of the earnestness of what we're trying to do here at Landers Law takes time, right? So if I don't get back to you right away, or my paralegal doesn't right away, that doesn't mean we're ignoring you. It just means we're likely helping a lot of other people that are already clients or becoming clients, and we're propping them up, and we'll prop you up too. But there is a certain level of triage that comes with my business, because it's kind of like an ER. Like if I have a client who has an emergency and I have a potential consultation, it doesn't mean I don't care about that potential consultation, but I have to address my client's emergency, because it goes back to I don't get flight, I get fight. I have to fight. So they're already my client, an emergency popped up, that mean I may get to you a couple days later, that doesn't mean I don't care.
So just for the listeners here too, what's all the things that you can do? Because we talked about family, but what else do you do with your law?
I do criminal defense and personal injury as well.
So if you got a fall, give Jason a call.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, but I do kind of that trinity.
What about wrongful death?
That would be part of a personal injury case, yes.
Never would have thought that landed in personal injury itself.
Yes, I mean, that's kind of the broadest category. That would be civil litigation, but injury, wrongful death, it can be airline, it can be auto accidents, it can be slip and falls, it can be dog bites. That arena is kind of generally considered the personal injury realm.
Gotcha.
Because normally the wrongful death is because of some kind of injury that was inflicted, or some kind of what they call in the law tortious conduct that was perpetrated upon a person.
Okay, perfect. Well, we are out of time here, so I appreciate you being back on.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on in the future and see what else we can do to help grow your business for you, too.
I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And we're back with the Small Business Showcase. I'm your host, B-Rad. We're here with our next guest, Corey, with Journeys with Care. And let's kind of dive into that, because a lot of people, when they hear journey, they think of travel, they think of life and things like that. So what exactly, for our listeners, is Journeys with Care?
Very much it is about keeping life going, actually, for our seniors. When seniors are stuck in their homes and they have care coming to their house, a lot of the caregivers have forgotten about the fact that people still want to travel. They still want to get out there in the world. They want to meet people. They want to experience their life. And maybe they have bucket list items they still want to experience. We allow them or help them achieve that. So we provide caregivers. We have a marketplace for putting caregivers in front of those seniors that still have zest for life, but maybe aren't able to. Mobility issues have gotten them back. Maybe healthy reasons have gotten slowed down a little bit, but they would like to have a companion or someone who's medical certified that can actually go with them. And they want to do a cruise, they want to do a day trip to the mountains, or maybe they just want to get their haircut. Just getting them out of their house, letting them still experience life. That's what we want to do. Is make sure they are part of our community. We don't want to forget them and just have them siloed in their homes. We want them to be out there experiencing our culture and adding to it.
That's awesome, because it's so sad how many, especially just, grandchildren, forget about their grandparents and things like that. Like my grandma tells me all the time that even though she's in Indiana and all the grandkids are in Indiana, I'm the one that calls her the most. And, when I go, I'll spend the night with her, and she's like, my brother, she's like, I haven't seen her talk to him in 6 months. And I'm like, that's sad. Like, she's in her 70s. Life's short.
Yeah,
so if, let's say, they wanted to go to a flea market or even like a farmer's market, is that things as well? Because you did mention cruise.
Absolutely. It's set up by our caregivers. So we have a network of caregivers on the site that are available for them. And each one has their set pricing for most events, but it's a 2-hour minimum is all that we require, as opposed to in-home care usually is a minimum of 3 hours. So they set the price with them. They would contract and join them where they want to go. So if it's to the Grand Canyon, to the flea market, to a haircut, or a longer trip, overnights. They can do all of that. It started this business because my father himself was actually as the need for care, and I found that all he was doing was getting excited to go into doctor's appointments. That was him getting out of the house, and so this was a way to. I found that he had a couple of friends wanted to go to birthday parties. He wasn't able to do it on his own, but by getting him over those experiences, he was still able to be part of his friend community. The 90th birthday of his friend, he wouldn't be able to make it there if someone wasn't there to provide him the transportation, provide him the companionship inside the event to get him there. He's in a wheelchair, so it's connecting them with their friends and their what they love to do.
That's awesome. I can imagine you have some amazing stories just by touching people's lives like that.
Absolutely, yeah. It is. It's reinvigorating the person inside of them. That's. You think that health reasons would take a person and set them back and no longer experience it and start to shut down. And you find that once they get around laughter or community or friends or family, the spark happens back up. It actually, it makes them feel better. They
want to
reason,
enjoy
purpose.
life.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when they do that, and for instance, last year we got my dad back to Pittsburgh where he grew up. See his brother and all of his family had a reunion back there for him. He had just gotten out of the hospital a couple weeks earlier, and this got him all back. We thought maybe he was on the end of life there, but he's roaring strong again now, and I think it's a big factor in it. Is keeping them active, keeping them part of it, not just your daily routines of having someone come in and make your food for you, where you're getting weaker and weaker every day, but come in and get them out, get them some sun, vitamin D on their skin, and just have fun. Brighten them up.
That's awesome. And let's say one of the listeners were like, "Hey, I want to do that. Let's say they lost their grandparents and they missed that, and like, what are requirements for someone to be able to do, even if it's a simple task of just sitting and chatting with them? Because I know some do require a lot of medical, stuff, so that one may be a little bit more restrictive. But is there different levels so people can help out with?
There's 3 basic levels of care that we provide depending on the caregiver's certifications. If they're medically certified, maybe they're an RN. Or the CNA's responsibilities, and there's also going to be some that are just companions. Depending on what the need of the client is, they'll get matched up on the site with the appropriate caregiver. Based on their calendar, their schedules, their location, and what their availability is, so they can request the journey that they want to go on. You just fill out. It's really simple form to fill out on the website. It filters through all the available caregivers that fit their needs. So they ask a couple of basic questions about. How they ambulate, if they're able to, if they have medical responsibilities, if it's medication, or if they're just companion care. Those will dictate a different cost for that service, and a different caregiver will be appropriately assigned to them. They'll be able to vet with the caregiver, and then decide if they want to move forward or not. Right now we have a promotion there's basically $50 off your first journey for Father's Day. So a lot of people want to give that gift to their father, or maybe they can't travel with them themselves, but they want to get their parent or loved one, someone out there out into a journey. So there's a little promotion on the site they can go to, but it's real simple. You get back to the caregivers, get right back to you on by phone or email or however you request.
So they can reach out by phone or something if a senior can't use the technology.
The phone number's on the site. They can call in. We will help them get their activation set up. We're working on a couple of senior caregiving facilities that we'd like to see them sign all the way up for it, that we can have it already established in their actual the sites, or I'm sorry, the retirement communities. So they have a kiosk there. That would be ideal if they can't do it. So it is. People are locked up in their houses. They can't get out necessarily. We want to get them out of there.
Is there anything that a small business showcase can do to help your business? We do like events and things like that. Like if we maybe were to collaborate on like a senior event, is anything like that be something that would help you guys?
Yeah, we absolutely. We're open to doing anything with the community. Absolutely. I don't have anything on top of my head right now, but there's the next event coming up. We would love to be part of it. Absolutely.
We're definitely doing more events and stuff, and just because of what happened with my grandparents, I know that there are seniors out there who sometimes may have already lost their children and grandchildren, or sometimes people just forget because they move away and things like that. So anything we could do to help the senior community, definitely keep a lookout with the showcase, because we're definitely going to have to collab with Corey here and have him back on to talk about more on it, and just I would love to be able to help more seniors and help your business with it. If it's now, I'm assuming that we can help seniors that not only are in senior facilities, but ones that are still in their homes too.
Absolutely, and that's where major client base is in the people that are living in their homes. They have some care coming in, but they're somewhat independent and somewhat still needing needs. That's the ones that are prime customer for us to help out, because they don't need too much, but they need just enough to kind of make them feel more comfortable. Some people want to go on a cruise, and just the idea of taking their luggage through the airport or navigating how fast life goes. Having someone who's certified to companion with them is a huge benefit. But again, if it's just a day trip or a couple hours out, people want to go see the mountains. They can't drive necessarily anymore. All of our medical transport facilities are designed to get them to their appointments. And Uber is not really a good, effective way to get up into the mountains and see the colors of the leaves change.
Especially the cost of it too.
Right, exactly. So it's each caregiver has the ability to transport. They can also, maybe they want to go on a lunch date or anything. Really, it's just getting them out of their house, getting them active in the community. That's just to try to get them out and part of it. It's just as much for our community to learn from our seniors and the culture that they bring to it, as the seniors to continue being part of it. So,
how long have you guys been doing this now?
Well, I've been the caregiver. As I said, I started this because I was taking care of my dad and realizing that all we were doing is staying in the house and not moving too much. So it was just next appointment. And so I've been doing that. I've been with caregiver for 8 years now. We've been doing journeys now for the last couple of years. We went to Pittsburgh 2 years ago now, so it's 2 years worth of travel on purpose to get them out. And then we launched Journeys with Care officially about 3 months ago. And so it's been a neat hurdle so far. We got 6 new caregivers signed up on the site that are really active and waiting to go. So we're launching the Colorado Springs market first, and hopefully we'll be expanding across the country is what we'd like to do. Again, it's a marketplace for the seniors to be able to vet and see different available caregivers, so that they can experience everything that has life. Maybe it's bucket list items. So yeah, it's about 3 months of the actual business going forward, and we're looking for many years. It's going to be 80 million seniors that are needing care by the next 10 years. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're not even that old yourself. You're what, 34, 35?
Nice, thank you. 40, 45. But yeah, not quite, not the young buck that I used to be, but it does make you feel good when you're able to provide some of that light.
And if you don't mind me asking, is your dad still around?
Yeah, both my parents are, and like I said, I'm a full-time caregiver for them, as well as launching the business. I have 2 other caregivers that help me out with their service, their needs. But yeah, they're both in their 80s, and managing appointments and all those things, and still trying to get out there and have fun. But yeah, they're both, fortunately, they're still with us. We're Colorado native, and they brought me in here, so we're happy to have them around. So
something that may help your seniors, and especially if they're limited on funds, we're partnered with Snooze AM Eatery up here on North Academy.
Okay.
If you use the word showcase, you get free pancakes, no purchase necessary. So let's say that a senior's just having a bad day. That's something that we do to give back to the community that you could utilize to help.
Sure.
Same with I Heart Mac and Cheese. Anything in there is buy one get one free if you use Showcase.
Okay.
So just something to be able to that we use to help the community that we would love to be able
That's
to
awesome.
let you guys use and
That's
help
great.
out the seniors a little
Yeah.
bit because
Love to-
money's tight for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Fixed income and limited resources, it definitely is a big thing. And that's why one thing that also I'd point out is our costs for our caregivers. What we do, because it is all about keeping the money in our caregivers' pockets. We don't want to. They're not trying to get rich off of anybody doing this care, but
We don't all make a
making
paycheck.
money, right? So they actually get to keep 80% of that fees for what they do for each one of their services. So compared to the competition, they're making a good $3-4 more an hour for providing that same level of care for the seniors without charging them any more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we work with lugs and plugs too. So use the word showcase. Like if the caregiver needs work on their vehicle, Showcase gives them a 21-point inspection free, and then if they change their brakes, they get an oil change free.
That's great.
Penn Heating and Cooling does Showcase with $500 off a new AC. So if a senior needs, in their home a new AC or someone to trust. So we do have partners too that we can utilize Showcase to help give back for you, plus other ideas that we can think of for
I'd
you
love to
too.
link some of that up on our website for that to be available if that's possible.
Yeah, we can definitely do that too.
Yeah.
Now, what is something unique about you yourself that makes you unique as a human being?
Well, I've got a very rounded experience. I've done everything from sales to running my own business to running Best Buy stores, electronics. So I'm very good at getting through all of the difficult to understand things and making it simple for people to use. I think with all the technology we have now, it can be overwhelming. So unique about me is I do have the ability to make it layman's term for everyone, make things work. Yeah, I guess that's what I would say is unique. Also, I don't know if there's a lot of good people out there, but I do this because I want to do it. It's not necessarily the drive behind. It's not necessarily for ego or pride, or it's just I take care of my dad, my parents, and I saw there's a need for a lot of other people that have the same service. So that's what we started for, to connect with them.
It's a great idea what you're doing, and Brady here, our photographer with Borrowed Light Photography, he does great photography if you need someone to come take pictures at a senior party or something like that. So he's definitely a good contact too. Really great with family photography
Awesome.
too. What is something that you would want people to know about Journeys that we may not have touched on yet?
Don't know yet. So I guess the biggest thing would be that we are a business that is 100% for the community and the clients. We're not going to be gouging them. We're not charging. Right now, there is no charge to be a member for them to get onto the site. The first 50
For the seniors,
For the
right?
seniors, yeah. There's some other facilities, companies out there that to get care, you have to sign up and pay for that service every month just to be able to find a caregiver. We're not charging for that. Right now, there's no cost associated to them, and there's no cost associated for the caregivers to be on the site. We're just trying to connect people and get the available resources to them. So, compared to the other places out there, you'd be paying $10, $15 a month just to access. So, I think the biggest thing with this, we're not here to gouge anybody. It's just to make sure there's a service for people that need it, so they don't have to miss out on the parts of life that they want to be part of.
That's amazing. I got all kinds of different ideas of what we could do to help. We were even partnered with the 411 for the 719. They're building an app, so we might be able to see what we could do to create a senior resource part with that too. So
Great, yeah.
there's definitely more things I think we could do to help out and help your business grow and get the word out for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is I just want to make sure people know it's available. I think the biggest miss right now is we know that there's a need for it. We know that there's people that want to provide the service, and there's this we want to get more people aware that who we are because and so that they can make it really available for them. So it's a good fit. I know that there's a market. So yeah, we just look forward to serve as many people as we can.
Definitely. And how can someone reach out to do a consultation, whether they want to be a caregiver or it's a senior?
Both are on the site, and it's basically it's Journeys, JOURNEYS with care.com. Or they can reach out to me directly on my cell phone, 719-306-4772. I'm always available, and we'd love to have more people calling in and getting a request in. I'd be happy to sign them up however they want to do it.
Perfect. Well, definitely get a hold of him because this is a great idea. If you're listening, seniors really do need something like this. And if you're a senior, definitely get a hold of him because there's no reason for you to be sitting alone in your house. You've lived a great life. A body in motion stays in motion. So reach out to Corey. He's a great guy, and this is something that will just add value to your life.
Yeah.
There's people out there that do care and want to help you guys.
Absolutely do. And they're trained, they're certified, they're vetted to make sure everyone has a background check, everyone has gone through to make sure that they're safe and insured for the service they're providing too. So last thing we ever want to do is put someone in a position where they're going to be unsafe. So that we do take great pride in the selection that we've had. The caregivers that we have on our platform are there for a reason. They are not just there to pick up an extra substitute type of job. That's what their life is and their passion is. So that's something they can expect from every journey that they are on.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate you for being on the showcase today.
Thank you. Thanks for
And
having me.
we're looking forward to having you back on in the future too.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And we're back with the Small Business Showcase. I'm your host, B-Rad, and I got my amazing friend Ebony with Creative Islander here today. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for having me here today.
Oh, thank you for coming in. So, Creative Islander, what is the name of the business? Because I think of restaurant when we first talked, and you're definitely not a restaurant.
No, we're not. So Creative Islander is about meaningful experiences. So we're a gifting company that creates experiences. We bring life to special moments through creative gifts, styling, intentional experiences. The name actually came about because of my cultural background. I'm an Anguillian, I'm from the Caribbean islands, and I want to keep a play on my culture and my heritage. So that is where Creative Islander came from.
So when did you come over here to Colorado then?
I came here through the military on orders. So in 2017, I've been here.
Okay, so 9 years now.
Yeah.
And has Creative Islander been open for the full 9 years?
So no, we opened in 2019, right before COVID took over. And I had just retired from the Army. And we started as Island Touch. That's what everyone knows us as. And then we slowly branched because it was Island Touch Gifts. And we did not want to be in a chokehold with the name Gifts. So we did doing business as Creative Islander, which opened many more doors and opportunities to change the way people view gifting.
Definitely. So what's some of the gifts that you do for your business?
So we do gifts for families, individual, corporates, events, and the way gifts look is not what we think a traditional gift is. We want to create the moment for a gift for you, the person that's purchasing it, and the person that's receiving it. So we change the term gift from a box to anything that can bring a moment, capture a moment or experience of a given moment. So say for instance you do a birthday party and I create this elaborate birthday setup with a tablescape and balloons. That is a gift in a moment for you because this is a celebration of an experience that you get to have.
That's awesome. So let's say you were doing a corporate party. What would be something that, how would you design that? Do you have a list of questions? Do you just get the idea of the event and everything just comes together? How do you come up with your ideas?
So my ideas really come from the client. So my website is very foolproof. It allows corporate customer or anyone to fill out as much information as possible. And we come up with the idea based on what you say. Of course, we're going to go back and forth about finalizing final details and how that looks. For corporate, it depends on what they're looking to do, whether it's inside, outside, whether they're doing a celebration of an employee or they're just doing, would they want to be thankful to someone, a client. It can look very different depending on what it is they're trying to accomplish.
So what is would you say your best event that you have threw for your gift where you're like, oh, this is just amazing that I was able to create this?
I won't say it's a gift event, but I will say my most favorable moment is this year makes 5 years. We've been hosting a toy drive in benefit of the Children's Hospital, and that has been my most memorable because I get to collab with small businesses. I get to put the name out there. The hospital gets to see who they are, and we get to come together as a community to give back to the children that our hospital serves, which is the most turning point of everything I do. And I host this every year during the month of July, so I'm pretty excited about it because, once again, in terms of gifting, take away toy drive, people think Christmas, but our children don't get sick just during Christmas. They get sick during a birthday, during a graduation, during the most unopportune time, and it happens and they're stuck and they lose whatever that was happening at that moment. So how do we gift those kids back? the toy drive isn't. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because toy drives, even when you mentioned it, my mind went Christmas. You don't hear
Yes.
about toy drive anywhere else. So that's an amazing thing that you do. Do you have like boxes set up at different locations to
So,
do the toy drives?
This year I didn't do boxes. I normally do, but this year we collaborated with the Southeast Food Coalition, the farmers market. It happens the Sunday after next, from 11 to 3. We're gonna be there. We're gonna have a tent where you could bring and donate a toy, and every toy you bring, you get a ticket, and that ticket takes 10% off of something you like to purchase from select vendors that's at the farmers market. So that's what we try to do this year as our 5th year. Try to do more where we can get more in the community, because the toy drive isn't about me, it's about all of us who have a child, a niece, or a nephew, or someone that we know have someone. We only have one children's hospital here.
Have you met Dominic Garcia with Hellraiser's Tattoo?
Yes, I did. He did some of my work before.
He just did a tattoo for me on my arm, but it's covered up right now. He'd be a perfect place to set up the toy drive. He loves doing stuff like that in community events. I think you guys would be a perfect collaboration on that, especially with the Men of Influence and the way that they're trying to do their community things. I think that might be something to definitely collaborate on.
That would be good. I'd definitely reach out to him.
And we could definitely collaborate on some events too to maybe help throw a little unique event. We got a couple of event planners on board that we work with to where we could just create something amazing, because we really try to give back to the community. And I love the idea of what you're doing, especially because you're right. The toy drives are only at Christmas time, and birthdays happen every single day. And, you know, milestones because they got out of, say a kid had cancer and they got into remission, that should be celebrated.
Yes.
So I love that what you're doing with it, and we would love to figure out ways to help collaborate with you more to help this grow more, and just everything. I'm just amazed at what you're doing with it, and it's like it's a great idea overall.
Thank you. And thanks to the hospital for allowing me to carry this event on every year. So that's the highlight of what we do.
How do you not take it home? Because what I would feel is that it would get sad seeing some of the kids, because unfortunately some kids do get sicker than others, and you know, how do you not take that home and still be able to have the beautiful smile you have on your face, and just to do and be the light to the world?
So I'm in the background a lot, and the toy drive, I don't gift kits. The hospital gift the kids.
Okay, so you gift it to the hospital
we
to
gift
do
to
it.
the hospital, and the hospital do it. So we don't get to see that portion, but we know deep down that it's going to that, and that brings me a heart full of joy that in everything I do, in all the emotions I create, in all the experiences I create, that's my biggest one that happens every single year.
That's awesome. And what else do you do for the community outside that toy drive?
For the community, I am part of the Southeast Coalition, where they talk about the food disparities that we have out here. So I encourage people to join, step into a meeting, because they do wonderful things. We attack different things in the community and we hear the voices of the people, and which is a great thing, because we got to meet like Miss Kimberly Gold, and we got to talk about and voice some concerns we had. So that is one other community thing that I do put myself to be involved in. So yeah.
That's awesome. So I remember when we were talking, you were talking about like balloons and things like that. So you want to go into a little detail about that?
Yeah, so when we talk about the gifting experience, a lot of it has more to do with balloons, tablescaping, events, creating moments. So a lot of that is what we do. I'm not totally a balloon artist, but I do work. And if I can't do the work, I do try to reach out to other balloon artists that can help me take on bigger things. I don't only do big things, but I specialize in intimate moments, because you kind of lose the intimacy when something is too big. I know as a small business, when I go into groups, I kind of get lost when I walk in and there's like 100 people in there and I don't make any connections because it's so big. I am not a very social butterfly. I like to smile, but
You think the smile would make people just generate to you.
but I'm not a social butterfly. So that is a skill I am still, of course, working on. But I love the intimacy of the events we carry, the moments we create, because then it allows people to have that conversation and open up and be their most authentic self.
That's awesome. Now, here with Small Business Showcase, we're going to be doing an event in June 13th. And I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it. Do you ever do anything with, like, you know, vendors where they're like, hey, we need help coming up with something creative to just be attractive to bring people to booths, anything like that? Or
I haven't, but that's a wonderful opportunity to be able to do something like that. I do also have an event happening that same day, which I'm pretty excited about.
what's the event?
It's called Hats Off to Dads. It's basically a small event, but it's designed for men that play roles in children's life. You don't have to be an actual father. You can be a father figure, a counselor, a mentor. So I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, it's very intimate. So we don't host more than 10 to 12 people at a time. And we have men speakers and men that's going to come there. Yes, as a female, it's my event, but I am not speaking because I am not a dad. So, but that's just the same thing on the same day.
That's awesome. And so you're not a dad, but are you a mother at all?
Yes, I am. To 3 daughters.
3 daughters. You look like you're 21, 22.
Thank you. Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water, huh? Bottled water, though, not the tap. Well, I bet they're just as beautiful as you. Congrats on having the daughters. Mine are dog children. I got 2 dogs.
I do have dogs as well.
How many dogs do you
I
have?
have 2.
2?
Yeah.
Mine's the one is white. She's a Lab Husky mix. The other one is black and brown and white, and she's a German Shepherd Lab mix.
Oh, she's colorful.
Both are rescues too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So we'll have to. Normally I have them here, but usually on the recording days, it's just too much of a hassle. But normally they're here in the office too.
Oh, nice. I must stop by one day just to see them.
I'll let you know because they'll definitely be here tomorrow in the office too.
Oh, nice.
So, what is something unique about you personally that you would like the public to know? Because we want to connect more of that personal feel so people see these small businesses really are just a normal Joe Smo just like them.
Right. So what makes us really unique is we create the moment. It's all about the experience. We're not just selling an event or we're selling balloons. We're selling the experience you get. We want you to enjoy the moment that you see the setup, or you are with your group for the setup, or just the moment you feel. It's almost equivalent to you walk into a hotel room and there's balloons everywhere and you just light up because that's your moment. So we're all about the moment and the experience that you receive.
And don't be a shy person out in a group of 100. You're an amazing person. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Like, you know, I got a tattoo here of Yoshi, and Yoshi's jumping out of his shell. And the reason I got that is because I was also a shy person. So what I started doing is just going to network events. And at first it was just whoever came up to me. And then what I started doing is just going up, well, what do you do? That's the question I ask. Because I hate talking about the weather. I hate talking about just the simple conversations. What do you do? They start talking, and then I just started talking. And now I run this because that's how I got out of my shell. So definitely I would love to see you hopefully get out of your shell more because your smile, your energy, you seem like such an amazing person.
Oh, thank you. I like to think I am.
So what is something weird about you personally or something that you enjoy doing if you don't want to share something weird?
I will say I'm a homebody. I know it's hard in this day and time. You see people that are like that, but I enjoy just being at home and having that solitude. I love the peace and the quiet. And I guess it's my island upbringing. You know, you grow up on an island. It's small. It's tranquil. and people get lost in the rush of every day. So this is my way of taking that back, just having that moment I lock on for a couple. That's my little...
That's awesome. Well, how can someone get a hold of you to get a quote? I know you mentioned a website too.
Yes, so we have a website. It is, the business name is just creativeislander.com. And it pulls up with our logo immediately, and then it showcases everything we do. Everything you clicked opens to something else that can take you to what you need to get to finally a quote page. And you fill out all the information, it submits to us, it'll tell you thank you, we'll respond within 48 hours.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you can think of that we may not have touched today that you would like the viewers to know?
I don't know. Well, I would love everyone to please do follow us. We're on Facebook and Instagram, A Creative Islander, on all pages, and we're local, so.
And when you see Ebony, don't be afraid to say hi to her. Help her break out of that show.
Yes, please and thank you.
So thank you so much for being on, and we look forward to having you on in the future.
Yes, thank you.